7 knockouts, 3 submissions, 7 decisions. Is Cory Sandhagen any good? I know I'm dropping this video dangerously close to Cory Sandhagen's bout with Deiveson Figueiredo this weekend, but let this video serve 2 purposes. To educate people on one of the most nuanced fighters in the sport, and to speak into existence a spectacular victory for Cory this Saturday. Let this be a prayer to the MMA gods. I love this man. No Jones. MMA used to carry the stereotype of being full of meatheads with no personality or depth behind them, and Cory Sandhagen completely shatters that idea. He's a deep thinker, and very unique in his own way, both inside and outside the cage. A guy who meditates, reads self-help books, and genuinely studies the martial path and the inner workings of his mind. That mindset is on full display when he fights. He switches stances effortlessly, finds his flow state in real time, and rarely makes any critical errors. He's one of the best fighters in the world yet to capture a title. But to be fair, he fights at bantamweight and has only dropped losses to truly elite-level fighters. 135 has always been stacked. It used to be ruled by Dominic Cruz, and I still remember back in the day when fans would compare Cory to Dom. I don't really see it stylistically, but in terms of the movement and elusiveness, I get it. Now, Cory's looking for a big rebound here after that loss to Umar Nurmagomedov, where he was timid and ran into issues with Umar's awkward style. He needs a statement win here because beating a former champ like Deiveson gives him real bargaining power. Maybe a rematch with Petr Yan or a shot at the loser of Merab versus O'Malley, who knows. This one's going to be fun, and I'll do my best to break down Cory's game without letting my bias get in the way, because yeah, I'm a massive fan and wear it proudly. Cory Sandhagen, a master of the stance switch in MMA, always in control of stand-up exchanges. Strike accuracy, 44%. Strikes landed per minute, 5. Cory stabs and pokes when he strikes. Very rarely does he plant and throw and swing hooks. He doesn't strike to where it's going to compromise his stance or his balance. He has a very efficient striking game that blends both offense and defense beautifully. Strikes absorbed per minute, 3.4. Takedown average 1.1. Cory's made a real effort of using offensive takedowns as he's progressed in his martial arts career, and he's had a lot of success shooting on guys like Song Yadong, Marlon Vera, Rob Font. Submission average 0.3. He armbarred Mario Bautista. That's good enough for me, and it should be for you too. Takedown accuracy 32%, not great. Strike defense 56%. Takedown defense 63%. Knockdown average of 0.3. This is low for a striker, but Cory attacks the body very well and uses elbows to slice and dice. And an average fight time of 14 minutes, 23 seconds. Strengths are high volume, great angles, and an iron mind. Weaknesses are lacks punch power and coasts his wins. Cory wins by outsmarting opponents who have obvious holes in their game, as well as being a tricky kickboxer who always seems a step ahead. Cory likes to be aggressive and build up a lot of doubt and pressure in his adversary. Lots of fakes and feints, and he's completely fluid in both southpaw and orthodox. He likes to keep guys guessing with constant stance switches or even line them up for vicious knees and elbows. He's very tactical and rarely lets his emotions get in the way of his game plan. Cory loses when his opponent has an X factor so great that they can shut down his rhythm from building and becoming too overwhelming for them. Fighters who can hang with this high volume striking and aren't bothered by the stance switches. He's not a guy that is a fish on the ground by any means, but we have seen him in trouble there on more than one occasion. Best performance, his execution of Frankie Edgar. Now, nobody enjoys seeing a longtime legend go out like this, but as a Cory believer from day one, I could watch this flying knee all day. Frankie Edgar had been coming to the end of a gutsy career, and Sandhagen delivered one of the coldest finishes you will ever witness. Then Chris Gutierrez copied his homework and retired Edgar for good. But again, this happened in the apex. If Cory pulled this off in a sold-out T-Mobile Arena, he's going global. He would be a way bigger star. You just impact people differently when you do it in front of a sold-out crowd. Most fun, his submission escape against Yuri Alcantara. Yes, that's right. He got out of this hellish situation without a limb break and actually turned it around and won the round with brutal ground and pound. I don't know if Cory is double jointed, flexible, or just lucky here because, wow, that looks horrifying to be in. He made it out, and stopped Alcantara with strikes in the next round. This is when he just got to the UFC and was a young gun on the come-up. Crazy stuff. Notable wins: Song Yadong. Coming into this one on a 2-fight skid, Cory stayed very disciplined and composed against a power puncher. He abused Song Yadong's high guard and mixed in the threat of the takedown, as well as sneaking in elbows through the guard that ultimately forced a doctor stoppage as the fight went on. Against Marlon Vera, he took advantage of Vera's low output and low urgency and found ways to get ahead on numbers every round, even if he struggled to land effective damage. The judge who scored this for Vera should be binded, gagged, and pelted with tomatoes. The Font win was really impressive, but super boring. It wasn't a fun fight to watch at all. Cory sharpened up his wrestling for this one and completely caught Font off guard. He banked 19 minutes of control time on top, and Font landed 9 strikes in a 25-minute fight. It was crazy domination, but I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. It was terrible to watch. Apparently he was injured, so he gets a pass from me. Awesome striking battle against Jan, and super close. Cory outstruck Jan in rounds 1, 2, 3, and 5, but they were light strikes and not causing enough damage. Whereas when Piotr Jan threw, it was with power. He landed a knockdown and secured rounds more effectively. Great fight though. You all need to rewatch this one. Here comes the doozy. Fight starts and Aljamain Sterling gets Cory against the fence with high pressure and got the back immediately. Cory fought hands for as long as he could, but Aljo is too slick on the ground and on the back. He takes his first UFC loss by rear naked choke, and this is also the only time Cory's been finished in his whole career. And now we get to present day. Cory took on the undefeated Nurmagomedov prodigy and came up short. It is what it is. This was sort of a mirror match in terms of the striking, but Umar had an edge with the wrestling and with that high-level grappling experience. And Cory did very well with his escapes and kept up good volume, but just couldn't get his game going fast enough against such a tricky competitor. Cory's game thrives off of building that early lead with the striking, and he just couldn't get it here. And that brings us to Saturday, gentlemen. Sandhagen versus Figueiredo. Who you got? Bit of a size mismatch, but still, Sandhagen takes on a former champion yet again. I feel a Figueiredo retirement coming any loss at this point. We've seen him lose the title, jump up a division, he's getting older. And so is Cory, but I feel a masterclass coming here. He's going to get a bit of a rub off of Umar, and I really hope Cory can parlay that into a crazy performance against Figgy. How do you think this one plays out? I'm feeling Cory by TKO in the later rounds. He'll push Davison to the brink, build up that exhaustion, and go for a finish. All in all, Cory Sandhagen is a tricky stand-up fighter with an incredible amount of scrap and fight IQ. His stance switches keep him safe and open up kill shots on the right opponents, and he will capitalize. He's fought everybody at 135 at this point, and I really hope he can fulfill his martial arts dream of finally getting a belt. Cory Sandhagen is an A-tier fighter. As always, thank you guys for watching. Drop your favorite Sandman moment down below. MMA makes no fucking sense, but I'm out here trying to put it all together. Until next time.